Hier ist the original K.Anderson. Und jetzt kommt er aus den Niederlanden, 30 Jahre alt, fünffacher Premier League Gewinner, fünffacher Gewinner des Masters, dreifacher Weltmeister, heuer unter anderem Sieger bei den Austrian Darts Open in Graz. Hier ist die Nummer 1 der Welt. Herzlich willkommen in Schwechat, Mighty Mike. Michael van Gerwen!
Has arrived. Mighty Michael van Gerwen, the best player on the planet, is here in Vienna looking to claim yet another European Tour title. These are the tournaments that he likes. He can just rock up on the Saturday, win a game, and then there is nobody more experienced in the world in winning 4 games on the Sunday to walk away with a £25,000 first prize. Mighty Mike has won 32 European Tour titles. That is more than 5 times the number of the next best player on the list, Peter Snakebite Wright, who has 6. However, here at the Multiversum in Vienna, he has been beaten on the European Tour by the man he faces tonight. K.Anderson produced a stunning performance 3 years ago here to beat MVG in a run to the semi-finals when it really did look like he was going to go and claim his first European Tour title. It didn't happen. Phil Taylor won that weekend. Unfortunately for Kyle,
first leg is Michael to throw first. Game on.
Unfortunately for Kyle, since that day 3 years ago when he beat Michael van Gerwen on this very stage, he has lost 10 times in a row to Mighty Mike. Paul Nicholson is alongside me to find out if that run comes to an end.
I remember that game like it was yesterday.
But it wasn't. It was 3 years ago.
Good point.
60.
Very enjoyable game it was, and the bullseye to Kyle looked about the size of Western Australia.
Yeah.
93.
3 bullseye finishes in that match. Now, there were some encouraging signs. He had a bullseye finish in his first round win over Stephen Bunting. Won that one 6-4, despite the bullet averaging almost 97.
57.
Now, the averages did tumble because they were both well up above 100 for a lot of that game. But K.Anderson is probably going to have to better what he did against Bunting to win against MVG. Although, if you were watching the Dart Show last month, and he should have done, despite 92. The 2 idiots who were talking on it, there was some good stuff on it. But one of the idiots said Michael van Gerwen probably needs to go and win a title on the World Series in August. Well, he went and won 2. Ending at a wait of almost 3 months, which is a drought as far as MVG is
140, Michael class 76.
For a title of any sort, since the Premier League, in fact, as he looks at 16 in double top for a 1-0 lead. And
Game
gets
shot
it.
on the first leg.
15 darter.
Michael van
Up for the
Gerwen.
fist.
Second leg is Calder through first.
Now,
game on.
are you convinced, Paul Nicholson, by those title wins in Australia and New Zealand, or do you think there are still questions to answer here?
81.
There's always going to be questions to answer with Michael. He has been aimed at for the best part of, what, 6 years now as world number 1?
140.
He's used to being aimed at and having that huge target on his back. Picking up the titles, fantastic for him. Good for his confidence. His confidence will be much better now than it was during Blackpool, that's for sure.
140.
But is he at his peak level that he was at maybe earlier this year when he was rocking in 9 darters every week?
97.
No, he's not. But I think through the course of certain seasons, he peaks for certain times. He tries to peak for the majors. He didn't peak for Blackpool. He just about
92.
got away with the Grand Prix last year, but he peaked right for the Worlds. He peaked right for the Premier League. He was good through the Premier League. And I think
100.
right now he wants to win, I'd say, a couple of these European Tour titles in September, minimum, and then peak himself for Dublin to get that title back in the locker.
Well, it will not have done him
123.
any
Michael
harm
Carr,
to win those
164.
titles, certainly, as MVG looks at the 164. Another there. Leaves the ball. Oh, and it's
139.
just caught the
Calvin
wire,
Clark,
hasn't it? Yeah,
65.
he knew it was close.
There are signs that he's getting sharper. That's the encouraging bit. Now, Kyle here has got to go 11 bull. Surely it's 11 bull. Of course it's the bull. It's the multiversum against MVG.
32.
This time it isn't the size of Western Australia. It's the size of Nug Nug, which is a very small town.
Nicely
Game
qualified.
shot on the second leg. Michael van Gerwen. Third leg
2-0.
is Michael through first.
That is an
MVG.
actual town, Nug Nug. Look it up.
I love all the Australian town names and their darts tournaments names. What are the ones
100.
you've won? You've won some weird ones, haven't you?
Wagga Wagga Classic.
The Wagga Wagga Classic, yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, the Whitlock's won some proper weird sounding ones.
Oh, he's won the Tennant Creek one's really good because you get a gold nugget as a prize.
Well, a gold nugget?
140.
Actual gold nugget. He's got one of them around his neck on a necklace.
Really?
Yeah. Because Tennant Creek is where they do a lot of gold mining.
60.
Excellent. What are the ones as Whitlock won?
The Warilla Bowls Club is
The Warilla
pretty much
Bowls Club, yes.
the home of the DPA.
The Oak Flats Soundwaves Open,
96.
the Mittagong RSL Open, the Mildura Workers Club Open,
I've won
the
that one.
Illawarra Yacht Club Classic.
I've won a Mildura. Mildura's Orange Town, beautiful.
99.
Broken Hill in South Australia, sort of New South Wales border. That's a famous town. It's got a great darts tournament there. But that's where they filmed the original Mad Max.
Ah, is it? Ah, I like that.
Factoid of the day for you there.
That's good, that. Now, Anderson leaves another potential bullseye out shot, but he's got to get 2 treble 20s here.
Calvin
But
McCall,
he is still looking.
170.
He's got 6 darts from here to break the MVG throw. And the thing that has been the consistent thing with MVG, it's not that we haven't seen brilliance. You're seeing him throw
96.
11, 12, 10 darters, but he seems to lose his focus and he just drifts off for 2 or 3 legs. And the average tumbles, and that head of steam that you... And look, this is case in point here. I mean, it's a poor visit that led to this, and then, well, manages to rescue it a
69.
bit.
See, this is the worrying thing
74.
for something like the Grand Prix because of the short format to start with and its set format. Double 16 for Kyle. Go north. And he does. Hits the red spot. Another Australian reference.
Fourth leg is Calder through
Now, I've got to get it out of my system, Dan.
Game on.
We have, of course, a new piece of attire for Kyle.
Yes, and I know you're a big fan.
It is beautiful. I am a big fan of what Kyle Anderson does with his dart shirts, and that is particularly
134.
resplendent is the right word.
Yeah, he does that hand logo, if you like, an indigenous
139.
Australian, well, sign or symbol. You see that on his flights. He's actually got really, I really like the flights, Kyle Anderson, because he's got the hand there, but it's actually transparent, so you can see right the way through. It's very clever.
140.
That 140 to back up the 134. I had a word with him yesterday after his win against Stephen Bunting, and I said to him, what's happened to your Fremantle Dockers t-shirt you always wear under your dart shirt? And he said, oh, it just wore out. I said, we'll get a new one then. I'm not used to seeing you without the purple collar.
96.
I didn't mention the Fremantle Dockers because they're not doing so well this season.
And I don't even know about what sport you're talking, Nick.
Australian rules football, the
Going
AFL.
Well, I don't understand that sport, I'm afraid.
I'm trying to figure out why Burton DeWitt's a St Kilda fan. Why would you even bother?
Well, again, baffled.
91.
But Michael Van Gerwen is going to
42.
baffle himself here if he misses a couple of darts for a 3-1 lead. He
Game
doesn't,
shot
though.
on the
That is an
fourth leg.
11 darter.
Michael Van
And this is it.
Gerwen.
Michael Van Gerwen's
first.
brilliance,
Game
the
on.
stuff that has propelled him to the position he is, an impregnable position at world #1. He had stopped playing darts for a year and he'd still be #1. It has been not just the excellence, but it's the sustained excellence. It's the way that he's able to keep playing at this ridiculous level, leg after leg after leg. It's what Rob
85.
Harrington calls the leg-on-leg pressure. And that's why he breaks records. That's why he goes and averages 123.4.
99.
That's why he's averaged 100 teens on a regular basis in these Euro Tour events and Pro Tour events. And even in TV games, he's smashed records. He's not doing that enough because he seems to lose his focus. That's what's characterised his games over the last 3 months.
Do you think, then, going back to the World Series, that playing against Gary in what was a very good game in Melbourne almost woke him up to what he needs to do to maintain that supremacy?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I do think that the 2 tournaments that he's won and the World Series gives him a massive boost in confidence, because it must have been as low as it's been in a while. And he'll stick another one in the 20, and it doesn't matter what angle you look at it from, it's still just in the 20, Michael.
60.
But he does leave himself double top, and K.Anderson may have to take this out to entertain realistic hopes of overhauling MVG. Although I do say that MVG was 5-1 up to Martin Schindler in the World Series events in Germany and managed to lose somehow.
Ooh, that was a 60, wasn't it? Get out of the way, dart 2. Get out of the way, leg 5, says MVG. 4-1 to the good. And he's looking
Game on.
ominously focused most of the time. I think he's had one little mental wobble.
Yeah, he's had one leg off. Well, the thing is, yes, those 2 tournaments have been good. But he's playing in this. He'll be playing next week. He'll be playing the weekend after. I don't know. I doubt he's going to play the Pro Tour events. Although, speaking of Vincent van der Voort the other day,
40.
he's considering playing 1 or 2 just to try and keep himself sharp. But by the end of this month, you might well see MVG back in top gear.
100.
Because he'll have been playing on these European circuit events where he loves it. And he hoovers up money. And he puts in some massive displays. And once he's playing regularly and he's winning games again and winning titles again, then he may not be able to be stopped. And look what it's at, just in time for the European Championship, one of his favourite events. Just in time for the Grand Slam.
93.
And of course, everything is gearing up to the World Championship. Michael Van Gerwen may have had a barren spell of almost 3 months,
56.
where people have used the word like crisis, but he could completely obliterate any memory of those discussions over the next 3 months of this year by winning everything that stands before him, because we've seen him do it
58.
before.
Well, we judge him by the standards that he's set down for himself, really.
Yeah.
So
He is judged by different standards, completely.
completely by...
58.
Look at Rob Cross, who was going through it last year, and he didn't win a title for most of the year. We just said, yes, it's something he's got to think about, but he was still in the infancy of his career. With Michael, it's different. We think 3 months is a crisis,
Yeah,
which
exactly.
I at some point said, it's not a
40.
crisis, but it could become one.
Yes, quite right. And look, it's the first time in pretty much 2 years somebody's won back-to-back World Series events, of course. There's been different winners time after time after
134.
time.
Calvin Carl, 112.
Leaves himself 56, and K.Anderson once again looking at a ton-plus check-out, which he may have to take out. And he's going to go 18s here, is he? Well, maybe he should have done.
You know, too many times in this match, his first start's been under that 60. He's been fighting that first start the whole match. And MVG is hoovering up not just cash on the European Tour in his career, he's hoovering up those 2 darters. Tops has been good to him.
Well, it is looking very much like an 11th consecutive victory for Michael van Gerwen over K.Anderson here. He did actually beat him in New Zealand just 8 days ago. That was a 6-5 win. It was tight.
It wasn't very good.
No, it wasn't. You're right. This is much better. It's 102 average. And 100 averages have been quite hard to find for MVG over the last 3 months. 5-1 is a dangerous lead, though, isn't it, MVG? Think of little Martin Schindler, Eine feine Dartspieler.
What about Warren Parry?
Warren Parry, that was 5-0, wasn't it? Was it 5-1? It was
a big deficit.
Yeah, it was one of the two.
What was this in New Zealand? A bug deficit.
Yeah.
One of my favourite accents. I love the Kiwi accent. We need to get some Kiwi dart players over here to give Cody Harris some camaraderie or comradeship or whatever the word is.
Well, Cody Harris, I understand, maybe relocating over here to mainland Europe. He really liked Denmark, really liked Germany. So he might base himself over there.
Fair play.
It's like the littlest hobo, just picks up his bag, goes where he wants, plays a few darts tournaments.
Can't use that as a walk-on song, though. That was
Steve McNally.
Stevie McNally's.
Here, wasn't it? Was it here?
It was here.
Yeah.
3 years ago, where he wore the famous trousers. Not for very long. I think he was on stage for about 20 minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't very long.
But
K.Anderson is not even going to make it to 20 minutes if he doesn't win this leg. Got to stay there. It's a bullseye finish again.
61.
And he's missed it. And K.Anderson's still averaging 100 here, but he's only been allowed 3 darts at double, and that is what you have to temper this 100 average with. Because, yeah, it's been all right from Kyle, but he hasn't forced enough opportunities. He has one here. He has to take it. If he doesn't, it's endgame.
good, solid single 9. And an excellent double 8 to keep himself alive.
K.Anderson. A-flag is counted through first. Game on.
And Michael won't mind that. Still got that 3-leg cushion. And we saw Michael van Gerwen when we got back to the hotel last night, didn't we? And we barely recognised the guy.
Well, I didn't recognise him.
60.
Because he hadn't shaved his head and he hadn't shaved his gish, as we say in the north.
Face.
His face. And
140.
it's about as hairy as I've seen him since he shaved all his hair off.
Yeah, the old Jason Statham look.
Absolutely.
Well, 83% on the doubles for Mighty Mike. And the doubles have been one of the reasons he's missed them, and he's missed them in clutches. And it's been one of the reasons why he's been finding 100 averages a little bit hard to come by, because even when he scored well, he's got to the end of legs and faffed. And faffed and faffed and faffed. And sometimes he's winning, occasionally he's losing, but he'll be ending up with those 97 averages and 98 averages. And anybody else throws an average like that, you think that's pretty decent. But MVG, you don't.
You get to a certain stage of your career of dominance that MVG has, what Phil Taylor had. They make high 90s averages look terrible. They make 105 look pedestrian and 110 look normal.
Quite.
48,
well, MVG is looking to wrap this up with 100 average. Double-double. And there it is, Michael van Gerwen, 6 out of 7 on the doubles, but he ends it with a double-double, and it's a 6-2 win, an average of almost 103, and Mighty Mike is back on the European Tour circuit, back winning games, back winning titles, and back throwing big averages. No repeat of his famous victory here at the Multiversum for K.Anderson against the world #1. And MVG will take on the winner of our final match of the night. It is the Demolition Man Darren Webster against Jeffrey de Zwaan, who came so close to producing a 9-darter last night here.
Michael, welcome to Austria and welcome to the next round. It was a quite superior performance. What do you think about yourself?
I think I played well overall, but I only had 2 bad legs. But what can you do? I think I won my game quite comfortable, and of course, there's more progression in it still, and I can do a lot better, but I hope you all enjoy. It's a bit warm today.
I think they did. And it will become warm tomorrow as well.
Yeah, it's going to be warm tomorrow as well. Before I got here this weekend, I looked to the weather. I thought, for the rest, outside my dark clothes, only shorts for me. But I'll be back tomorrow. I hope I can do even more good tomorrow. I feel well, and I hope I can perform really well in front of all the new crowd.
So it will be a hot Sunday tomorrow, and we're looking forward to see you again. Thank you. This is your applause, Michael van Gerwen.